Ooh, what's going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? Okay, let's get this going. Callum, first one in here. What's going on, man? Oh, these streams, divine. Thank you, man. Or might be a girl. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, let's get this ready. I'm excited. It has been probably borderline 2 weeks since we've done a live stream watching and critiquing your guys' videos, so it's time to do it. It's time to make it happen again. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, Chris. Callum, I'm doing well, man. Just been a day of getting out emails. Had a couple of phone call meetings, which was good. Some exciting stuff kind of in the works. Veronica, thank you so much. The GOAT. How have I been? I've been well. For those of you who didn't know, my birthday was December 1st. I turned 21, so that's lit. But yeah, we're gonna stream for a little while, watch some of your guys' videos. Let me make sure everything is good to go here. Check out all this stuff. Yep, this is looking good. Perfect. We are live. Do me a favor right now, guys. Be sure to go right down beneath the stream and give the video a thumbs up, because it will significantly help more people get in the stream, which makes it more fun for everybody, more people to critique and talk about stuff. So drop down below, smash the like button. Really appreciate that. I think there's probably about 30 of you guys in here right now, so I'm expecting to see at least 30 thumbs up on the stream. Okay. Yeah. Right now I see 7. Let's see if we can get that up to 20, guys. I don't know where to link. Okay, so we're gonna do the watching your guys' videos things probably about 10 minutes into the stream here, because it takes, like, everybody gets the notification on their phone or their computer or whatever, obviously, but it takes a little bit for everybody to get in here. We have 25 people. Let's see if we can get up to like 40 or 50, see what we can do. Looks like we got 8 thumbs up on the stream, somebody thumbs down. That's lame. Bradley, thank you so much for being in here, man. Bradley's always coming in here back to back, so I appreciate that. We'll in the next like 5-10 minutes, we'll start working on watching some of your guys' videos. Working on any big projects. I have some stuff in the works, not a ton of stuff I really want to talk about just yet, because I started noticing and feeling as though it was really cringy when I would see other people do it, and I realized I was doing it all the time, where I would say like big things in the works, big things coming. It's like, yeah, great. Nobody really cares to hear big things are coming. People want to just see the big things happen, if that makes sense. So I decided to kind of stop talking and like foreshadowing like what might come with my content, what's coming with my channel, and just doing it, because I almost feel as though sometimes when I talk about it and hype myself up on it too much, I'll procrastinate on it, because it's like I've already let you guys know that it's coming, so it's like you guys are already in the loop. So if it gets pushed off a week or so, it's like not a big deal. So if I don't do that and you guys aren't in the loop and you don't know what's coming, it's like more incentive for me to actually push out the content and make some shit happen. So I hope that makes sense. Noah. Oh man, ordered the G7. Hell yeah, Callum. What's an affordable lighting solution, not natural light, under $100? Dio? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your name, but I have a video on that. In fact, let me go find it really quick. And you should watch that video, because it's almost exactly $100, and I think it will definitely help you. It is, here we go, this video right here. We'll pull it up. Perfect
from
budget
channel.
lighting video setup. I talk exactly on how to turn a boring ass looking lighting setup into something like that for right about $100. So you're definitely going to want to go check that out. Best budget camera, Canon SL2. The SL2 rings a bell, but I'm not entirely sure which. Oh, the SL2. That's right. It's a little old. The SL2's not, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not entirely sure it does video mode. Does it? I might be wrong. It does do video mode. Okay. Yeah, the SL2 is a little bit old. Wait, or is the SL2 new? No, it has the 24 megapixel sensor. Did they finally update? Yeah, that's right. Never mind. I was thinking of a different camera. The SL2 is new. The SL1 was out for a while. The SL2 is new. They also had another SL series, I believe, or it might have been something else. Anyways, yeah, the SL2 is definitely not a bad camera to get started with. I believe it has the touchscreen. It does have the new 24 megapixel sensor. Yeah, the SL2 is not bad. Also, I've been shooting on the C100. Nice, Bradley. The C100 is a solid camera. It's a little behind in terms of technology nowadays, but it's still a very solid system. Made a short film last month, but didn't send. Are you going to make another challenge? Looking for? Yeah, you know, I am. So I was talking to somebody about this just last night. A lot of people were saying, Ryan, you should do another one of the short film challenges. I didn't get to participate, or I saw it late and I thought it was really cool, and I think you should do more. A lot of people seem to be interested in that. So with that being said, I think I am going to do another short film challenge of some sort. What the criteria is going to be, I mean, last time it was obviously create something from nothing, which was a 24-hour process. What it's going to be this time around, not entirely sure, but we'll definitely come out with something, because I think a lot of people really enjoyed that challenge. Whoa. YC. Thank you, man. You guys, the boy YC Imaging, if you haven't found him, or if you haven't watched his videos, he does a lot of videos about filmmaking, particularly a lot of stuff about music video filmmaking, and he's doing Vlogmas, daily vlogging leading up to Christmas, which is something I'm considering doing. So if that's something you guys want to see, definitely let me know. But let me show you guys YC here. Did we just get another Callum? Thank you, man. All right, we're off to a good start. But YC Imaging, this is the homie for sure. He's doing Vlogmas, and the cool thing is he's not just putting out like bullshit little vlogs. Like, he's putting out like some straight up heat, like actual cool stuff every single day, all the way up to Christmas. So that is somebody you should be checking out if you're not subscribed to him already. Yeah, gotta put out some more content. I appreciate that, Chris. Man. All right. Actually just came here after watching YC's video. Wait, what? Oh, you're watching. Okay. You know what? Let's get started with Callum's video. Callum, thank you so much. Funny enough, guys, I did a really short, like, bullshit little live stream late last night. I was playing some Call of Duty. I know it sounds pretty weird. But Callum was actually in there and ended up donating like over $30. So definitely a legend for sure. So let's get his video pulled up here. Guys, read the description down below if you want to have your video watched. I'll quickly kind of just give a preface to this. So basically the way it works is, if you would like to have your video watched, copy and paste everything after the /watch. So it's like youtube.com/watch and then a bunch of random numbers and letters. Copy and paste the watch part, like everything after the /. I will be selecting videos randomly from the chat, and if you would like to sort of skip the line and immediately have your video watched up next, there's a link down in the description. Donate a minimum of $5. Anything donated underneath that amount will be considered just support and donation. So for those of you who donate something like $3, in order to keep it fair for everybody, the minimum is at $5. So with that being said, let's start watching some videos. So this is a new chapter, 2018, Callum McFarlane. Yeah. All right. Whoops. Let me know how the audio is. It is already quiet, so Yeah, let me know how the audio is in this. Turn it up or down. I like this song a lot. Really quickly, I want you guys to let me know, do you want me to commentate during the video or after? I usually prefer to do it after, just because I can summarize things better, but if you want me to do it during, I can. That's exactly what I was thinking, Murilo, Christian Martel vibes. Okay. Alright, Callum, I got a couple things to say for you, man. So right off the bat, I think the color grade is pretty solid. So I'm curious as to what camera you're shooting on, because I'm almost getting the sort of crushed blacks look, the faded look as a lot of people call it, which is a good look, but for the camera that you're shooting on, I think you might have pushed it a little bit too far. I feel like we're losing a lot of detail in the blacks and even the midtones, honestly. I'm having a hard time seeing a lot of detail in the trees here, so I think maybe dialing back the grade just a little bit could have given this video more detail. The other thing I wanted to say is, what's up with your homie here? Is this you? Is this your friend? Like trekking around in the snow with a broken foot or broken leg or something like that? Oh man, the 750D and it only shoots 720p at 60. Oh man, yeah, I know the struggle. A lot of those older Canon cameras unfortunately don't do 1080p at 60 frames per second, so you're kind of limited. Also the color, yeah, you're not really offered a whole lot there in terms of like a flat or a log profile, so yeah, I can see what you mean. But I would say personally, try and dial back the color grade just a little bit, because we are losing a lot of color information across this, and I think there is some more detail there that you could pull out. The other thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you guys can see this because I'm not sure what the stream is, if my stream is 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, but I'm seeing a mix of 30 frames and 60 frames per second footage throughout this video. Now, traditionally, I'm going to cut to my face here. Traditionally, cinema and film in general is natively 24 frames per second. It's what creates the most organic looking motion blur, and when something isn't shot or isn't delivered in 24 frames per second, it really starts to have a non-cinematic feel. It's hard to characterize it because some people interpret it differently, but if you're going for that cinematic film look, 24 frames per second is what you should be exporting all of your stuff in. It doesn't matter what you're shooting. If you're shooting 60 frames per second, if you're shooting 30, deliver in 24 frames per second, meaning export the entire sequence at 24 frames per second. Doing those things, adjusting the color grade, 24 frames per second, and then one other thing, I think the song choice was good. I think you could have spiced up the camera movement in some of these shots. I think like some of these shots right here where you guys like holding the drone, I think you could have got some more creative angles here instead of just kind of filming as though if you're standing right in front of them. I think you could have done some more, a couple more unique angles here and there. But that's what I got for you, man. So Callum, I really do appreciate all the donations. Again, like I mentioned before we started this video, Callum was hanging out with me last night in a little stream that I did. It was it was pretty pointless, but he donated like $30. So Callum, mad love to you, man. I think you can see it in the stream over on like right here. Can you guys see that? These show from previous streams and everything like that. But yeah, you can see that Callum has been just killing it, man. Okay, yeah, thank you, Callum. I really appreciate it. Also, YC Imaging, the $20 donation, mad love. Really appreciate it. I would, Chris, I don't know if you're still in here, man, but do you have a video you want me to play? I know you probably don't really care, but I'd love to play one of your music videos and give my input on it. If you're still in here. I think we're gonna, you know what, whoever, the next person to drop a link in the chat will watch your video. I knew you'd say it about, yeah, the camera movement. I talk about it a lot. I did a video on it, and I've been meaning to actually do a follow-up video talking about this. Oh boy, Dejo, D-E-J-O. Not entirely sure how to pronounce your name, man, but you're the first one. I talk about camera movement a lot because it is something that seriously is a focal point. It's extremely crucial when you're trying to improve the quality of your videos. So, okay, so this is a double front flip and 9-foot front flip. Okay, let's see what we got. I don't think those transitions are really necessary.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's gonna be another gym progression video. I've been working on this video for a while. I got clips from a few weeks ago, but I need to get a few more clips. So I'm gonna start recording again today. Oh my gosh, my math binder just fell and it scared me so much. But besides that, I gotta get to the gym right now. I'll see you guys there then. And it should be a pretty fun day today. So I made it to the gym now.
So just an FYI, guys, if you guys send in videos and it's like vlogging content, I am going to skip a little bit through the vlogging stuff and actually cut to like the edits, because I think that's what generally most people care about in this. So
let's do it.
I like those shots, but the transitions and the outline animations I don't think are really necessary. See, I think you have some interesting camera movement and angles here, and the transitions just aren't necessary. The Luma fade's not necessary. So that's a good angle. Ah, not the transition though, man. Oh man, the transitions. Also, the song is like a little hype and energetic for what it is.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it.
Is the rest just vlogging stuff? Yeah, it is. Okay. Couple things to say here. Like I said, I think you have a really good eye for composition. Your shots are framed nicely. Your choice of focal length looks really pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. The song in the beginning is good. I like the song choice right here, but I think the drop and like once it gets kind of the EDM house, it's a little heavy for this. One thing I want to say, I'm trying to wait for it to see one. This, okay, right here. Your cuts to a separate angle of the same shot are really good. This I think this is well composed. You're sort of off and behind him at an angle. You're not directly behind him. Directly behind him even could have worked, but then this nice cut right to this front angle. This looks solid. Like that cut right there is what I'm talking about. Just proper cutting and not using transitions as a crutch. See, that transition, not necessary. You could have done something different. You could have used another little shot to sort of carry us through to this next shot of behind him. And those, okay, so the little animations, the outline animations of stuff like that, if you're going to do these, make them much, much, much thinner. They were like really, really thick and kind of distracting. Seriously, they're taking up like a solid amount of this frame. Make these like literally a quarter of the size and it will look a whole lot more professional. So, other than that, I think you have some good cinematography skills. It just needs a little bit of practice, hone in on it, and I think you'll start getting somewhere. So, good shit on that. Let's pull up Bradley's videos. Bradley's in here all the time, and I always appreciate him. So. Alright, so this is HD full theme reveal. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I love that like electro pop Stranger Things synth. Oh, is this like a Stranger Things inspired intro style? I'm digging the vibes of this, but I'm just kind of confused what it is. Yo, Janvin, thank you so much for the $10 donation, man. I really appreciate that. Continue. Yo, okay. Church convention wanted some Tron Stranger Things vibe for a theme reveal. That's pretty lit. What did you make this in? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm really curious how you went about like designing and like sort of compositing that together, because that was pretty cool, Bradley. I don't really have a ton to say about it other than like I definitely see the whole kind of like Tron Stranger Things vibe from it. So I think you executed that extremely well. Good job. Yeah, tell us some more about that, because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested. After Effects using Red Giant Universe. Gotcha. See, you know, like me personally, I'm not like a huge After Effects guy. I haven't used it that much. I understand it and I see where it's important, but me personally in my work, and I think it's something a lot of you guys should understand by now, or at least know of me by now, I'm not a huge person who's into like transitions and heavy effects. I'm really more interested in pure cinematography, camera movement, composition, all that stuff that's really associated with shooting in camera, opposed to, you know, doing effects and whatnot in post. I'm also really fascinated by color science, so you guys often see me really experimenting with color grades. I get a lot of compliments about my color, so I really appreciate that. And then obviously I put out lots of LUTs and presets, so color is something that's very much so an interest for me. But I'm mainly a cinematographer. I'm not so much into the whole like post effects kind of a thing. But yeah, we got a $10 donation from Janbin. I really appreciate that, man. Let me pull up your video here. Sorry, this is playing and I tried to stop it. I tried to pull it up before it started. $5 super chat from Aldo Media Productions. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the donation. Let me pull up your video in just a moment here. Yeah, just play it on the stream here. Okay, so this is, let me show you guys the title. Sigma 50 to 100. I want to play with that lens really, really bad. Really do. All right. That's kind of like a nice overlay style shot with the bokeh there. Man, you can get some gnarly looking bokeh with that lens. This is just a lens test video, so I'm not going to critique it too hard, because I'm imagining that you're kind of just trying to crank out some tests. It's not really designed to be anything that's too structured. The bokeh looks really pretty solid. It's like, it's almost perfectly round. It's a little kind of like onion shaped, but you know, so in these a lens test like this video, if you are going for a true lens test, or maybe you're just kind of going to like satisfy your own desires of what you want to see of this lens, but I'd really like to see some kind of like locked off tripod shots where we can really analyze the frame from like corner to corner for detail, sharpness, if that makes sense. When there's lots of movement and tons of just bright lights in the frame, it becomes kind of difficult. Ugh, that roller coaster sound wasn't really pleasant. It kind of jumped out at you. When there's lots of movement and lots of like bright, it's kind of difficult to see like what we'd want to see out of a lens test video. Maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna stop right about here. Yeah, I for a lens test, I think it's a good video. Everything looks honestly really good. Um, I just noticed in the bottom left hand corner it said manual focus ISO 200 f2.5. I'm really curious to hear like your written thoughts of that lens, because I've heard a lot of really great things about it. I mean, 50 to 100 millimeters at 1.8 is like a pretty insane focal range, especially if you're shooting cinematic stuff. I mean, longer focal lengths, telephoto focal lengths can really make things look just well compressed, and it can sort of aid composition really well. So I'm curious to see what you think of that lens, because that's a lens I would love to get my hands on and kind of fiddle around with. But yeah, good video overall. Thank you so much for the donation, man. I really do appreciate it. Guys, right now I would really appreciate it if you could drop down below and give the stream a thumbs up. It really does help a lot. Vandermeer, I'm assuming that's probably Caleb, one of my friends. Thank you so much, Caleb, for the $5 donation. Yeah, for all, I think there's like 40 people in here right now, and there's only 17 likes on the stream. So if you could drop down below, give the stream a thumbs up. I don't usually ask you guys for a whole lot, so that would be nice. Yeah, just let's see if we can get this up to like 40 likes. I mean, there's 40 people in here, so I'd hope we could. We're pretty strong, so. Thank you for the donations, everybody. We had a $5 super chat donation from, I can't remember who it was again. It was from Although Media Productions. Thank you so much, man. Let me pull up your video here. This is a 9-minute long video. Here's a mini, I'm reading the description right now. Here's a mini doc I worked on this summer documenting the Yakima War Eagles Boxing Club. This is a film brought to you by Although Media Productions. Okay, yeah, let's get it started. We might skip around just a tiny bit because 9 minutes is a little bit long for a video, but let's see what we got here. For those of you who just joined in the stream and you haven't been in here before, make sure to read the description down below. Or if somebody in the chat could kind of inform.
I've been involved in the sport my whole life. I trained in it as a kid with my friend and his dad, occasionally visiting other clubs here in town. I never gave boxing the full attention I wished I had. I did all the training, I sparred a lot, got my head, smashed in. Never got to really compete, do anything cool, like go to Golden Gloves or anything like that. So about 4 or 5 years ago, my boy, Anthony Pleasant, he's actually a fighter here in town as well. He said they needed a mitt man down at Evans Boxing Club, which is now debunked. It was at the bottom of the Madison House Youth Mission, but they just said they needed a guy to work mitts, and that's something I'd always been good at. Like even when I was training, we were taught to work mitts with each other, to do drills on punch mitts. So he brought me down. The head coach there had just had surgery on his shoulders, so they really didn't have anyone that could work punch mitts. So I just kind of got dragged in that way. And
I kind of like the black and white to color contrast, the way you're going black and white with the B-roll, and then going back to color on him. I think it creates an interesting sort of story contrast.
The first coaches I worked alongside at Evans Boxing Club convinced me to do the coaches clinic and get certified under USA Boxing. So that's how that all kind of started.
When we first started, he didn't like me too much. He said that I reminded him of him when he was younger. He'd make me jump rope forever. I think he wanted me to quit.
See, one thing I want to point out really quickly, I like the B-roll, by the way, that's overlaid to the city. That interview shot right there of that boxer kid who was talking, I think that looked nice, but then our like primary A-roll shot of the primary character here talking looks really like dark and it's noisy. I would have liked to have seen this scene, because this is obviously the, I'm gonna kind of pause right here. This shot is most likely what's going to be leading a large majority of the documentary itself. So I would love to see this shot look as good as it possibly can look. It almost looks like I don't know if you set up lights or if you just didn't really have a ton of available light, but the light kind of looks like it's coming from like this downward, or excuse me, upward angle. Like the light is kind of positioned low. That doesn't look super pleasant. It's noisy. I would love to have seen this scene lit better. That's all I'm trying to say.
Part of my life. What boxing is, it's a discipline. So a lot of those kids that come in there, a lot of the kids that I have worked with come from the east side of town. Different backgrounds, some of them a rougher background than others. Some pretty average households it's not always like that, but quite a few of the kids I've worked with come from these.
Solid B-roll piecing together the story. I like that, and I'm starting. The black and white contrast is really growing on me, so I enjoy that.
I used to get in a lot of fights, so that was like another reason why I kind of started. Let's say if there was a big problem, I could calm myself more, you know, like, because I know what I can do because of boxing.
They learn a combative sport, learn to defend themselves, not to be scared or whenever they're faced with, you know, adversity. They learned how to overcome things, like, especially when it comes to, if they compete, you know. They learn more about themselves, like, oh, I can do this, you know, like, this wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. And it's a better outlet, you know, for them to do that with, as opposed to, you know, the alternative for a lot of the kids that I've seen in and out of there, you know. There's gang life, there's all kinds of things, and like, I'd rather, if they're gonna be combative, I'd rather them do it there than do it at school or in their neighborhoods. You know, this is definitely an important outlet for the community. Most of the clubs that were around here started for that very purpose, kind of a community outreach thing. Right now we're at 2 days a week because it's summertime. In fall,
I don't know if you're Although Media Productions, are you in here currently? I would love to hear like a little bit of input from you on if, because this is a long video and I'm enjoying it. Like, me personally, I enjoy the story, but it's about 9 minutes long and we're only 3 minutes into it currently, and I'm not sure everybody in here wants to hear a ton about boxing. So I'm kind of just gonna skip around a little bit. I mean, I've already covered, I'm skipping through right now and I'm kind of just looking at the previews and I'm kind of seeing that most of the story is going to continue on with the same stuff. I really like the black and white contrast of the B-roll, going back to the A-roll shot of him talking, going from black and white to color. I think it provides a unique aspect. It kind of makes it feel as though there's a change in time opposed to just kind of like just cut. It's like you're kind of changing time in the sequence. So it's a unique feel. So I think that's interesting. Again, I would really have loved to see this A-roll shot look better, because I think, you know, some of the stuff in here, all these shots look good. I mean, these look very kind of classic and kind of vintage, and then we kind of cut back to this shot and it just, oops, nope.
They do 3 rounds of jump rope,
Where
2
is
minutes apiece. We have a closet full of like different boxing.
There, this shot, and it's kind of just kind of dry. So you didn't, and again, I don't think you need to really like make the shot look super glamorous or anything like that, like super like beauty or flattering. Like, I think this just could have been lit better. Framing could have been like a little bit nicer. But with that being said, I really enjoyed this. I think documentaries are super cool, and I would personally love to get into fumble and words there. I would personally love to get into documentaries myself, but I haven't really like found a cool story that I want to do yet. So yeah, but good stuff, man. I really do enjoy that. Lack of life for the main interview. Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, that's just my main thing that I'm seeing out throughout this. I think the story is being put together really nicely. I think the B-roll looks and fits very, very well. But that interview shot, I think, you know, would have been the make it or break it. So, so we're gonna move on. Thank you, man, for the donation. I really appreciate it. We had a couple more donations. We had one from Caleb Vandermeer. Thank you, man. Let me pull up his video here. Okay, so this is from Caleb Vandermeer. He is a like commercial real estate videographer, photographer. He actually lives in my area, so let's take a peek at his work. This is kind of like a property demo video. Nice. I just noticed this. I think it's really cool how this chandelier is like with the light coming in naturally from the windows, kind of like illuminating, reflecting on a bunch of the walls. Looks cool. Couple things I want to say. I noticed that it looks like there's a blend. First video on the 5D Mark IV, really enjoy. Yeah, your colors honestly look really clean. I think realistically you could have added a little bit more contrast into this. I don't know if maybe it's just like your monitor calibration versus mine, but I personally wouldn't mind seeing more contrast in this. Couple things I want to say. It looks like there is a blend of 60 frames and 24 frames per second footage. This shot right here, the intro shot of the boat coming in, this is 60 frames, at least on my screen, which I would assume it would be on yours as well. Yeah, see, I'm kind of blocked right here, but I do see the option right here, 1080 for 60 frames per second. I don't know if the client requested you deliver in 60 frames, but I really think 24 frames would have just made this look cleaner. Because there's a mix of shots as we go throughout. There's like 60 frames and 24 frames per second footage, which doesn't come off super well. We've talked before, and remember how I was talking to you about including detail shots while still including a lot of these wide shots. These wide shots are obviously fantastic for real estate, and they really do show the audience, you know, what they're getting in a very vast view. But especially when you're trying to make something that's going to sell and really hook somebody who's not just purely interested in aesthetics and they just kind of want to really see and get a feel for the home before they even go and get a tour of it. Detail stuff. And you've included more of those in your work, and I really do think it adds values. Yes, this looks great. More of them, honestly. Like not more, but like, you know, I don't be afraid to really get them in there. I think the drone shots of the boat really kind of showing the area and showing what's around there, showing, you know, how this river, I think this would be this is, I don't know where this area is, Caleb, honestly, but showing the water out behind the houses is, I think, it adds some character to the video. So Caleb, keep doing what you're doing, man. And I think, yeah, it might not be a bad idea to toss some more contrast into it, because things do seem like a little bit flat. You're most likely shooting log on the 5D, I'm assuming. So toss some more contrast in there, and I again, that's my personal profile. The Willamette, yeah, got it. Callum, once again, dude. You guys, okay, so Callum, you can see it down there in the bottom right side. Notice how many times he's donated? Like, come on, man. Thank you. Let me pull up his video. Alright, so this is 5 simple camera household transitions to improve your vlogs. Callum, you've donated so many times, so we're gonna have to watch the whole video. I appreciate it.
Okay, what's going on, guys? It is Callum and welcome back to a brand new video for today. Now, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, today I'm going to be doing 5 simple in-camera or handheld transitions to improve your vlogs. Or, well, mostly in-camera or handheld transitions. Before the video starts, if you guys want to see more videos like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below if you are new around here. You know, I'm just a young photographer, videographer, trying to make it somewhere, so if you guys could drop a sub, that would mean so much to me. Anyways, let's get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy this.
Jan,
yeah. Now, the good thing about these transitions that I'm about to show you in this video is that they can literally be made using just a cut in post-production. Some of them that I'm going to show you take a little bit more than just a cut, but there are a few that do just take literally a cut in Premiere or whatever you use, can literally make an awesome transition. I'm going to show you that in this video. So yeah, let's go. Like that, for example. Literally all I did there was cut in between when I put my hand on the lens and took it off. Now, this transition is done by a lot of people. Like, I see a lot of vloggers using this transition, so you know, it's not really the most original one, but there is different ways of doing it.
It's not super original, but it works really well.
I'm now in a different part of the garden. So it's literally just a matter of putting something over the lens and taking it off in the next shot. So yeah, once again, all you need to do is place your hand over the lens or anything over the lens and take it off in the next shot. That's all it needs. Really, really nice, simple transition to get from one clip to another. Which brings me on to our next transition, which is the spin. And there we go. Another really simple, really good looking transition. Literally all you have to remember for this one is what way you spin your camera, because say for example...
I've tried to do spins like when I was vlogging a lot consistently, and I never really got that great at them. Maybe I did. I was okay. I started getting kind of fancy with some different transitions, so I'm curious to see if you're going to talk about the ones that I was trying.
For example, I spin my camera that way, and then bring it back this way, which is the same way. It's not going to look that good. You just need to make sure you're spinning your camera in a full 360 direction. Once again, this transition is extremely flexible, so say for example, if you don't want to do it sideways, you can maybe do it up like that. It is all just one huge big flexible transition. It's really, really nice as well for different, you know, different clips in your vlog. Just one thing, it is a lot more easier doing it with a GorillaPod, because I'm currently doing it right now with a Manfrotto tripod, and it is very, very heavy and not very good. So I do apologize. Are you seriously walking around with a tripod? Once again, another really nice transition to make your vlogs look really cool. Which leads me on to transition number 3, the finger click. Now I'm back beside the river again. Another really, really simply done transition to make your vlogs look really, really good. I almost just fell. All you need to do to achieve this really nice simple transition is cut in between when you click your fingers in the clips. Also, just to make sure when you click your fingers to line them up with the frame, because if I click my first frame up like that and then click the next one down there, you know, it's not going to look that good. So you just need to make sure you got your fingers in somewhat the same place. Now the next one isn't really much of a transition. It's just more of a really, really cool effect to add to your vlogs, which is the clothes change. There we go. Once again, as simple as clicking your fingers, jumping up and cutting where you change your clothes, just to make it look really, really cool. And once again, this is a very flexible transition. Like for example, you can spin around like that, or you could even just step off the frame and then come back into the frame straight after. Oh Jesus, freezing. Okay, another really simply done transition just to make your videos stand out and look a little bit better. All right, there's a huge group of people walking towards me, so I'm gonna go back to my house. There we go, we're back home. By the way, that was transition number 6, the full body camera arm spinner. I don't really know what to call this one, but literally, as you saw, you spin the camera around with your body, and just,
really curious.
Just teleport into
who
a
in the chat
place.
right now, are you guys learning some transitions that you didn't think of? Because there's 1 or 2 in here that I was like, oh, I didn't think of that.
So once again, the hand or object over the lens, or maybe even you want to do a spin like that, or maybe if you even want to click your fingers to teleport. There we go. Or maybe I want to take my
The last one was terrible.
Jumper off. Oh, and also another way of doing the camera spin is if you have a tripod, you can loosen the tripod and literally just spin the tripod in your first shot, and then spin it in your next shot, and then merge them together. So that's been the video. I hope.
Yeah, nice. Good job, Callum. I think that's clever, and I think a lot of people really enjoy those transitions. Yeah, see, a bunch of people are like, they're enjoying it. Good job. Man, see, like, me personally, I'm like not such a trendy vlogger when I make vlogs. I'm kind of just more like talk about relevant stuff and then put some fancy B-roll in there. I'm not like super lively like Peter McKinnon or anything like that, but I think a lot of people can take and appreciate something from this. So good job, Callum. Thank you so much for the donations, man. It really does mean a ton. We had a $10 donation from Jan Ben, and it was the abandoned train shot with a GH5 Zhiyun crane and Olympus 12mm. Let's pull that video up. So funny enough, this is something not a lot of people know about, is that Panasonic cameras use a micro four thirds mount lens system. So Olympus also uses a micro four thirds lens mount system, and Olympus does have a really great variety of prime lenses. So a lot of people are like, oh, what's a good camera, or excuse me, what's a good lens for Panasonic, like a G7, G85, GH5. If you're not finding what you're looking for within Panasonic's lens range, definitely check out Olympus. And there's actually even, in fact, like other brands that are making micro four thirds mounts lenses like Sigma. There's a lot of options for micro four thirds. So if you're shooting on Panasonic, you have a ton of lens options, more than you'd think. But yeah, let's check out this Exploring the Abandoned Train. Tyler, thank you so much for the $5 donation, man. I'm kind of digging this mysterious vibe. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. For donation videos, I'm gonna commentate after and really give a full summary. If it's a random video that we're picking from the chat, I'll commentate during so we can get through them quicker. A little heavy on the effects. Like, definitely far too much for my taste at this point. Okay.
So we just found a secret place, an abandoned ghost train. Let's go in?
Ja då.
Let's go in.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk at the end of the video. We're just gonna watch it through and then I'll give my full impressions of it. Ooh, okay. So this perfectly leads me into the point that I wanted to make about this. This ending shot of this very sepia style color grade, like very like orange midtones, orange highlights, and very desaturated shadows. This is a really unique look, and I think this is like a really. Let me find the shot that I was. Oops, missed it. I think this shot is really cool, and I think this style is really cool. But at the very beginning, this is something I want to point out, is at the intro piece right here, we're kind of cutting together a lot of different kind of looks and color grades. So we have this sort of dark, like almost can't see anything, looks like you're trying to like overlaying some lens flares, and then it transitions to this kind of very, very bright, very happy orange sunset look. And I think it's kind of awkward to contrast between those two styles, where you're kind of doing this whole dark, mysterious theme at the beginning. Here's the video. Oh, dang it, did it freeze? Yeah, you're doing kind of some like mysterious little things, kind of awkward transitions, kind of confusing the audience. You're putting some titles in their face to kind of build a story. I really think the color grade is a little too orange here. I would love to have seen it like more neutral. Anyways, let's fast forward. I like these wide shots, but somebody said it throughout the whole first roughly 2 minutes of the video, we got almost no close-up shots from 40, like basically 30 seconds to about 2 minutes. We didn't see a single close-up. Everything is very, very wide, very wide, and it's kind of gets repetitive to a point to where it's like, all right, we've seen the environment, we've seen what the train looks like from afar. I would love to have seen a lot of like detail in the beginning. You provided a ton of detail in the ending half of the video, like the last 3 minutes, and we lacked that in the beginning. So I get what you tried to do, is you were trying to piece a story together of like arriving at the train, seeing the environment, seeing what it looks like, and then you're with, I think it's your family, and then you guys go in the train, and then we actually get to start seeing detail. I think this whole video could have been condensed down to under 3 minutes. It was about 5 minutes. And yeah, somebody just said, Nina, Ryan, talk about the power of storyboarding. I think you could have storyboarded this to really make this more coherent and like a really something you can follow along and really grasp onto. I think it just kind of became like a little bit more like flashy shots than was necessary. And the effects, me personally, you guys know how I am about effects. I think cinematography should be the key factor, and then effects should really only be like a tiny little crutch if necessary. Especially shouldn't be done like every other shot. But with that being said, Jan, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I like the concept. I think it's really unique. I think that train is dope. To summarize, I think the color grade could have been something a little bit more moody and kind of dark and less orange, because the orange makes things feel friendly and bright and happy. In this abandoned train, I would love to have seen something like more green or blue. So with that being said, try like a little bit more planning and storyboarding going into it. Try and condense things down just a little bit, and I think you got some solid stuff there. But the footage looked great, so good job on that. We had a couple of donations, I believe. Yes, Tyler. I believe Tyler donated. Yeah, Tyler did. Let me pull up Tyler's video here. So this is Fall Getaway, Vancouver, BC.
You're not going through it. It's going through you. And once it's all gone, you'll become the new you. With a different perspective from the same point of view. Fully unaffected by the old truth you once knew. Connected at the roots, to the trunk, to the branches, to the leaves and the way they fly away in wind dances. A frantic seesaw, free fall in midair that represents the floating folly of us all being here. We are complicated creatures, huh?
Come away, 'cause I love my soul. A fighter in need, a lover restrained.
Ooh, that shot of that watch looks really good. That was probably the best shot so far.
Come away, 'cause I know I won't.
I'm digging this vibe, like I really am. It's very slow, it's very peaceful. What camera did you shoot this on? Oh, that drone shot looks good.
I'm dreaming up a start of fire.
That was a cool transition to a hyperlapse. I'm a little over the whole hand, like follow me looking stuff, but that wasn't bad. The color grade personally for me is like a tiny bit too intense. I think that like this shot in particular, not bad, but I've seen some of the other shots that are like a little too contrasty for me. Like this shot I think could have been color corrected a little bit better. I think those highlights were a little too strong. Okay, couple things I want to say right in the beginning here. Let's watch.
You're not going through it.
Okay, it's this next shot, I believe.
Once it's all gone, you'll become the new you.
This shot of the leaves floating up, reverse motion. Okay, now listen to the lyrics.
Connected at the roots, to the trunk, to the branches, to the leaves and the way they fly away in wind.
The leaves and the way they fly away. What shot would have been absolutely perfect to put at that part of that narrative right there, or excuse me, the dialogue right there? The leaves and the way they flew, like the way you had them floating up, that would have been so good. That would have been money. Now, this is something that not enough people are doing, is actually using music and actually using lyrics of a song and piecing visuals to those lyrics of that song. This is something that subconsciously, when you hear it and your brain registers it, it's like, holy crap, that was like so planned and so structured. When you do things like that, it automatically shoots like the credibility of your video in somebody's head, like subconsciously, again, without them even really paying attention to it. It automatically makes the video look better when you're doing stuff like that, when you're connecting, you know, lyrics of a song or written words of a dialogue to the visuals of a video. It looks so cool when you do that. So I think that's something you could have done. The other thing is the color grade for me, slightly too contrasty. I think we're almost losing a lot of detail in the blacks, and the midtones are kind of dull. I think this could have had like a little more life to it. Again, some color correction would have really made a big difference in this, but that is all, of course, subjective. Color is subjective. I'm just going based off of like color theory. I feel as though that is definitely not quite hitting the levels it should on like a scope or something like that, waveform monitor. So with that being said, who made this video? This was it was Tyler. Yeah, Tyler. Not man, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, so I'm just not even gonna give it a go. But Tyler, he commented there. Yeah, definitely go check out Tyler's work. Okay, do we have another donation? Chris donated. Thank you, man. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it was Chris. All right, let's pull up Chris's video. Chris, I'm not entirely sure what that link is, like how I'm gonna copy and paste this. It's like not letting me copy. Hey Chris, you mind dropping the link to your video in the chat, because it's not letting, for some reason, computer's being weird, but it's not letting me copy and paste the link out of the donation that you sent me. Turn on my little LEDs behind me here. There we go. Chris Hudson. There we go. Uh-oh. It didn't work. What? Let me just Google that link and see if it comes up. Oh, I found it. Okay. All right, so this is from Chris Hudson. This is Haven. Really, really long intro of black there. I think that could have been shorter. Oh, whoa. Is that like sparklers just showering down? That looked so cool. What is happening right now? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like, I got, like, a little bit of chills right there, like, when it transitioned to that, like, empty, like, house, and the, like, soft little, the colors look nutty, dude, and when I say that, I mean really good. Like, you have this very, very glowy mid-tone highlight thing going on. The sounds are very subtle, but they're there, and that's very important with sound design, is to not make them in your ears, just make them be ambient. Man, these visuals honestly look really good. Please tell me more about this. Like, I'm very interested in, like, what is happening here. Because these shots look really good. Is anybody else, like, as, like, intrigued and like, perplexed by this as I am? Because, like, this is so, like, strangely peaceful. That shot, dude. Like, what is happening? Well, the name of this video is Haven. Like, safe haven. Oh, I love those shots. Chris, you need to say something, man. You seriously need to say something, man. Yeah, that's what Anthosaurus just said. Your composition is insane. Yeah, it is. Every single shot, your composition and your movement is so well done. Like, I'm tripping, dude. What the heck? Whoa. What? Okay, yeah. What? Dude. Okay, I don't have a lot of words. No, Chris, I gotta be honest, man. I'm really curious to know what you shot this on, how long this film took place, like how long you were filming it for, how long you were piecing together everything. The score, the song, the soundtrack was phenomenal. The ending with that almost surreal-like moment, almost otherworldly feeling circle bubble that was happening here was like chills, like little goosebumps popping up of like what's happening right now. Like this doesn't seem human almost. The name Haven is perfect. Man, I really want to hear more of your input on like what your thoughts were going into creating this. You shot it on the T3i, dude. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about when I say you really don't need a fantastic camera to make some beautiful looking stuff. A T3i is one of my first cameras that I had probably back in like 2012, 2013, 14-ish. This is golden material right here. Gear means nothing. Yep. Good shit, Chris. Really good stuff. I really hope to see more from you. I'm definitely going to have to slap you subscribe because I want to see more from you. Because there was like no coherent story to this at all. Like it was just purely beautiful imagery. So everyone give a little applaud. I want to see like clap emojis if you can do that, some hand emojis of some sort in the chat. If that doesn't happen right now, if I don't see at least like 10 of those, you boy, like come on. Good shit, Chris. That was nutty. Chills for sure. Yeah, this shot was, I don't even want to replay it because I think all of you got the same feeling that I did of like just jaw dropping, like what is happening right now. And I feel like if I play it back, it's gonna like degrade it, and I don't want that. Like I want to watch that whole video again at another point in time. That was good, dude. That was really good. Very, very, very well executed. Yeah, let's get Chris some subscribers, guys. I would really hope that you guys can help him out because he doesn't have a lot of following right now. I don't know if you have like a bunch of like followers on Instagram or something like that, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, guys. We've been streaming now for about an hour and a half. I'm getting kind of hungry, so we're gonna watch like 3 or 4 more videos. If donations come through, we'll obviously watch those, but next person to drop a link to a video in the chat, starting now, we will watch your video. But Chris, yeah. Hopefully we can get some subscribers for Chris, guys. Murillo? I'm not entirely sure. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Yeah, let's get Chris some subscribers, guys. One last time, I'll go show his name really quick. Chris Hudson. I mean, his name's in the chat, and I think you can click on and go to his channel from the chat. But let's get him some subscribers for that because that was something else. Okay, this is Culpa from man. Okay, well, 3-minute short film. It's in 4K. Let's see what we got. I like 4K. 4K is fun. Culpa. trying to see what you're trying to piece together there, trying to envision it, but yeah, bad. Okay, I think this is a unique story. So those of you who didn't really understand, basically, dad and son, son's playing with the soccer ball, the ball, and he hops in the car, they go driving, the son's distracting him, they get in a car accident, son dies. I like this, and I think it's really unique. The problem with it is the soundtrack, especially the second half. After son dies, after the accident happens, the mourning and the grief that that was taking place here, this song is like almost upbeat. Like it's almost like a happy song. So in combination with this, it's kind of off-putting. It kind of doesn't match. I think your shots are well executed. It looks like most of it was shot handheld, and it looks pretty good. But the biggest thing for me was just the soundtrack. I think these shots too, where you were trying to show that they were driving, but then there was this shot here where you're like kind of like looking in from the windshield perspective, filming them. I get that you're trying to make it look as though that they were driving, but it became really obvious. So like right here we can see that they're not moving, obviously, and so it's kind of just like, me personally, I don't know, I don't really know how I would have executed that. So I think your attempt here was my best attempt as well. Usually a lot of people wonder how they film like moving car scenes where they're filming like a conversation through a windshield of a car. A lot of times they'll actually have that car on a trailer, and that trailer itself will be driving down along the road, and there will be like cameras and tripods and lights and everything set up around the car on this trailer, and as the trailer's moving, it looks as though the car's moving. So the car's not actually physically driving. Everything is set up around the car on a trailer. It's kind of funny. There's not really a ton of ways to do better than that, unless you had like a big suction cup mount and you could put it on the car, but then again, you're gonna have to deal with reflections and angles, and it doesn't really work. So I think you did a pretty solid job. Again, I think the soundtrack would have made a huge difference in that, in terms of how it relayed back to the audience, but overall pretty good. All right guys, you know what, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream. I greatly appreciate everybody who joined in and hung out and watched the videos and gave feedback for everybody. All the people who donated, you guys are crazy. I really appreciate it. With that being said, I have some content coming, a few more sponsored videos, some more short films kind of in the works. A lot of people have been asking me if I was going to do Vlogmas. Now here's the thing, I really want to do Vlogmas, and I think it would be cool. If you don't know what Vlogmas is, it's basically daily vlogging leading up to Christmas. I'm obviously already late if I were to start it now, but if I were to do that, it would significantly take away from the amount of time that I would have to put toward the videos that I actually need to get done, like sponsored videos, like short films, stuff that I really actually want to put out. I wouldn't have as much time to do that. So I don't think I'm going to be doing Vlogmas this year. Maybe next year. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do daily vlogging at one point in time, but for right now, I think we're just going to stick with the content that's been coming out currently. Usually like a video a week, sometimes more. We'll go on a little streak of like 3 in a week. I don't really have a particular schedule that I'm adhering to right now, and I hope you guys are okay with that. You know, I'm trying to put out the best quality content as possible. Excuse me. I'm not so much a person for quantity. I don't think that it really benefits a channel when you're just banging out videos, but they aren't all that fantastic. So I'm really in for the whole quality thing. So if you guys enjoy that, you know, stick along for the ride. It's gonna be a good one. I should make a Christmassy video. Absolutely, yeah. I definitely have plans for that. I'm gonna make a Christmas winter short film. That's in the works. That's a little sneak peek right there. I wasn't planning on saying that, but there you go. Sneak peek to the 25 of you who are watching currently. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who is supporting each other in the stream, all the people who have been subscribing to each other. This is what I do it for. I love engaging with you guys, inspiring you guys. So peace out, guys. I'll see you. I would do the clap, but I can't really do the clap because I have to hit a button. Actually, let's see if we can do it. All right, ready? Clap.